The medical bay's lights dimmed automatically as night cycle began on Station Orion 9. In the isolation wing, Princess Taya of the Lurith Empire lay awake, watching the simulated stars through her small viewport. Her silver-veined arms glowed faintly in the darkness, a constant reminder of why she was here. Born as the third child to Emperor Lorak and Empress Vela, Taya should have been celebrated across the 12 planets of the Lurith domain. Instead, her birth had been marked by silence, where royal Lurith children were born with skin that shimmered with golden veins, a mark of their divine bloodline. Taya's veins ran silver. A mutation, the royal physician had declared, a flaw in the bloodline. In Lurith culture, appearance wasn't merely vanity, it was everything. Their species had evolved elaborate physical displays as part of their social hierarchy, and the royal golden veins had been selectively bred for generations. A silver-veined princess represented chaos in their carefully ordered world. Her early years passed in a series of painful treatments. Taya had endured countless procedures as royal physicians attempted to alter her silver veins to gold. Each failed attempt only weakened her further. By her 10th year, when most Lurith children began their public appearances, Taya remained hidden in the palace's medical wing. The royal announcements never mentioned her name. At official functions, the Emperor and Empress spoke only of their two bright heirs, her older siblings, Prince Dovan and Princess Maya, both perfectly golden-veined. On her 16th birthday, instead of the traditional presentation ceremony, where royal children were introduced to society, Taya received visitors in her chambers, her parents entering her rooms for the first time in 3 years. "We have arranged something beneficial for you," her father said, not quite meeting her eyes. "A special diplomatic position." Her mother added, "A station in the outer systems. You will represent royal interests while continuing your medical care." Taya understood immediately. They had found a place far enough away to hide their shame permanently. The journey to Station Orion 9 took 14 days. Her medical pod was loaded onto the royal vessel under cover of darkness. The only attendant permitted to accompany her was Nurse Rila, who had cared for Taya since childhood. Though kind, Rila maintained professional distance. Her career depended on discretion. Upon arrival, the station administrator, Director Mev, greeted her with practiced politeness that couldn't hide his discomfort at her appearance. "The royal family has made their expectations clear," he said, leading her to the isolated medical wing. "You will have limited contact with station personnel. All treatments must be approved by the royal physicians. Your diplomatic duties will be conducted remotely." Her diplomatic duties proved non-existent. No communications came from the royal palace. No tasks were assigned. Her quarters, though comfortable, were effectively a prison, connected only to a private medical suite where automated systems monitored her deteriorating condition. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Taya measured time by her weekly medical evaluations with Dr. Novu, the station's head physician, who viewed her with clinical detachment. "Your cellular degradation continues," he informed her during her 6th-month evaluation. "The silver vein structure is increasingly unstable." "Can anything be done?" she asked, already knowing the answer. "We follow the treatment protocol established by the Royal Medical Team," he replied without emotion. "We are maintaining systemic balance as instructed." The unspoken truth hung between them. The treatment protocol wasn't designed to heal her, only to manage her decline. The royal family awaited news of her passing, which they would announce as a tragic case of genetic incompatibility that had claimed our beloved daughter despite all efforts. Taya had intercepted enough communications to understand her fate. Her death would solve a political embarrassment. The imperfect princess would become a perfect tragedy, one that might even generate sympathy for her family. On particularly difficult nights, when the pain from her condition flared, Taya wondered if accepting her fate might be easier. The silver veins had begun spreading internal damage to her organs. Each breath sometimes hurt. Her once vibrant silver glow had dulled to a faint shimmer. Only Nurse Rilla showed her kindness, though always carefully. The nurse would sometimes bring Taya books or station reports, not included in her approved materials. Occasionally, she shared small news items from across the galaxy. Did you know humans have joined the station staff? Rilla mentioned one evening while adjusting Taya's medication, an interspecies medical exchange program. They look strange, no veins visible at all, but they're supposed to be quite skilled. Taya had studied humans in her educational programs. Their resilience interested her. Despite being physically weaker than many species, they had earned respect throughout the galaxy through adaptability and unusual problem-solving. Do you think I'll meet one? Taya asked, knowing the answer. Rilla's expression turned sad. Your contact restrictions remain unchanged, Princess. That night, alone in her room, Taya watched a small bird-like creature that had made a nest near her viewport. Station Orion 9 had several ecological zones where non-sentient species lived. This tiny creature had somehow escaped and built its home just outside her window. Each day it returned, surviving despite being out of place. Taya began saving bits of her meals to crush and leave on the small external ledge where maintenance drones occasionally passed. We're both far from home, she whispered to the creature. Both of us not where we belong. The bird couldn't hear her through the viewport, but it seemed to look at her as it ate the crumbs, its tiny head tilting curiously at her silver veins. For the first time in months, Taya felt a small spark of defiance. The royal family had sent her here to fade away quietly. Perhaps they expected her to accept this fate with the dignity expected of a princess, even one they refused to acknowledge. But watching the small bird survive against the odds, Taya made a decision. If her time was limited, she would no longer spend it waiting for death. Somehow, she would find a way to truly live before her silver veins went dark forever. Dr. Jun Park rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at his new quarters on Station Orion 9. The small room contained a bed, desk, and storage unit, standard issue for visiting medical personnel. After 3 days of space travel from Earth, he was finally here. Welcome to your new home for the next year, he told himself, unpacking his few personal items, a photo of his family in Seoul, a small plant his mother insisted would keep him company, his grandfather's old stethoscope, outdated but meaningful. June had trained for 5 years in xenobiology, the study of alien life forms and their medical needs. His specialty in cross-species cellular regeneration had earned him a spot in the prestigious Interstellar Medical Exchange Program. Station Orion 9 served as a hub for 12 different species. Here, he would gain practical experience treating aliens while sharing human medical knowledge. June had graduated top of his class, but book knowledge wasn't the same as hands-on experience. His orientation began early the next morning. Dr. Novu, the station's head physician, was a tall Lurith with golden veins visible through his blue-tinted skin. He showed little interest in his new human colleague. You will assist in general treatment only, Novu explained without warmth. Major procedures require approval. Some patients may refuse human care, which is their right. As they walked through the medical bay, Jun noticed how advanced the equipment was compared to Earth's technology. He also noticed how some alien staff watched him with curiosity or suspicion. Humans were relatively new to the galactic community. What's behind that sealed door? Jun asked, pointing to a separate wing of the medical bay. Unlike the other sections, this one had security protocols visible on its entry panel. Dr. Novu's expression hardened. Private patient quarters, off-limits to exchange personnel. Before June could ask more questions, a medical emergency drew the staff's attention. A Naxian trader suffering from pressure sickness. Jun helped stabilize the patient, impressing some of the medical team with his quick thinking. After his shift ended, Jun explored the station's common areas. In a small cafeteria serving multi-species food, he met Nurse Rilla, a younger Lurith whose veins had a slight copper tint. Human food available at Section 3, she told him, noticing his confusion at the unfamiliar offerings. Thanks, Jun said, selecting what looked safest. I'm still learning what won't poison me. Rilla seemed more approachable than Dr. Novu. As they ate, Joan asked casual questions about the station. When he mentioned the sealed medical wing, he noticed her immediate discomfort. "It's not discussed," she said quietly. "Just focus on your assigned duties, Dr. Park." Her reaction only heightened his curiosity. Over the next 2 weeks, Joan established himself as capable and reliable. He treated patients from 7 different species, studied station protocols, and built cautious relationships with his colleagues. At night, he couldn't stop thinking about the sealed wing. Professional curiosity was part of it, but something about the secrecy felt wrong to him. As a doctor, he believed in transparent care. One evening, working late, Joan noticed Nurse Rilla leaving the restricted area. She carried a tray of barely touched food and looked troubled. "Is everything okay?" he asked. Rilla jumped slightly. "Fine. Just routine care." "For someone who doesn't eat much," Joan observed. Rilla hesitated. "Dr. Park, some matters here are complex. Political considerations sometimes influence medical decisions." "Medicine shouldn't be political," Joan responded. "In an ideal galaxy, perhaps." She glanced around before adding quietly, "Not all patients receive equal care." Later that night, Joan used his growing access privileges to search the medical database. Most restricted wing files were blocked, but he found equipment requisition logs that revealed regular deliveries of pain management medication and cellular stabilizers. The quantities suggested treatment for chronic, progressive cellular deterioration, exactly what Joan specialized in treating. Yet the protocols showed only maintenance care, not curative treatment. Using his emergency override credentials, given to all doctors for critical situations, Joan accessed the sealed wing's entry log. The security system registered his presence but didn't trigger alarms. Inside, he found a space that functioned as both living quarters and medical suite. It was comfortable but isolated, with medical monitoring equipment throughout. In the bedroom area, a young Lyrith female slept fitfully. Her skin bore silver veins instead of the golden ones he'd seen on others of her species. The silver pulsed weakly, and her breathing seemed labored. Beside her bed, a medical chart confirmed his suspicions. Princess Taya of the Lyrith Empire, diagnosed with cellular vein degradation. The treatment plan prescribed minimal intervention, enough to manage pain, but not enough to heal. Joan checked her vital signs and reviewed her medication. Everything matched maintenance protocols for terminal patients. Yet from his studies, he recognized her condition as potentially treatable with cellular regeneration techniques developed on Earth. As he studied her chart, the princess opened her eyes. Instead of calling for security, she simply watched him with tired curiosity. "You're human," she said finally, her voice weak but clear. "Dr. Joan Park," he confirmed. "I apologize for the intrusion. Are you here to study the dying princess?" There was no self-pity in her tone, only resignation. "I'm here because your treatment protocol doesn't match your condition," Joan said honestly. "Your cellular degradation could respond to regenerative therapy." Taya's expression revealed brief hope before hardening into skepticism. "The royal physicians determined my condition is untreatable. With Lyrith medicine, perhaps. Human medicine approaches cellular repair differently." Joan moved closer, activating his medical scanner. "May I?" After a moment's hesitation, she nodded. The scan confirmed what Joan suspected. The silver veins weren't causing organ failure directly. Their structure was simply incompatible with standard Lyrith treatments, which were designed for golden veins. "Princess Taya, your condition isn't terminal. It's just different from typical Lyrith physiology." She studied him, years of disappointment visible in her eyes. "Many doctors have made promises, Dr. Park." "I'm not promising a cure," Joan clarified. "But I believe we could develop a treatment that works with your unique biology, rather than trying to change it." A soft alert sounded. Someone was approaching the wing. Taya's eyes widened in alarm. "You should go," she whispered. They won't understand why you're here." June nodded, heading toward the exit. At the door, he turned back. "I'll need to review your complete medical history, and I'll need your permission to try." For the first time, a genuine smile transformed her tired face. The silver veins brightened momentarily. "You're the first doctor who's asked for my permission," she said. "Yes, Dr. Park, you have it." As June slipped out before being discovered, he knew he was potentially risking his position on the station. Interfering with a royal patient's care plan could create a diplomatic incident. But watching Princess Taiya's silver veins struggle to maintain their glow, he couldn't walk away. Some medical principles transcended species and politics, and the oath to heal was one of them. June established a careful routine. During official hours, he performed his assigned duties in the main medical bay. At night, when station activity slowed, he visited Princess Taiya. His access card now opened her wing without triggering alerts, a quiet modification he'd made using his medical override privileges. For their third session, June brought a portable cellular regenerator he had calibrated specifically for her silver-veined biology. This might cause mild discomfort, he warned as he prepared the device. Taiya sat upright in her bed, more alert than she had been during his first visit. "After years of Lurith treatments, I doubt human medicine can hurt worse." June activated the regenerator. It emitted a soft blue light that passed over her arm, targeting damaged tissue around the silver veins. "Our approach is different," he explained. "Lurith medicine tried to change your silver veins to gold, which your body rejected. This therapy accepts your natural biology and helps it function better." "Accept rather than change," Taiya repeated thoughtfully. A very un-Lurith concept. As the treatment progressed, June gathered more data. Each night, he returned to his quarters to analyze results and refine his approach. During the day, he carefully asked general questions about Lurith biology without revealing his real interest. After 2 weeks, the difference in Taiya was noticeable. Her silver veins glowed brighter, and her energy had improved. She could walk around her quarters without resting, and her appetite had returned. "Tell me about Earth," she requested during one session. "My educational programs included basic information, but I want to hear from someone who lived there." As June worked, he described Korean mountains, busy Seoul streets, and family meals. Taiya listened with genuine interest, something she had been starved for as much as proper medical care. "Do humans have their own versions of imperfection?" she asked one night. "Countless versions," June replied. "But many things once considered flaws are now celebrated as unique traits. My cousin has a condition that was once hidden away. Now she models for fashion companies because of it." This concept fascinated Taiya. The idea that difference could be valued rather than hidden contradicted everything she had been taught. Their progress couldn't remain secret forever. 5 weeks into the treatment, Dr. Novu summoned June to his office. "Princess Taiya's monitoring systems show improved cellular function," he stated coldly. "Explain." June had prepared for this conversation. "I've been providing supplemental care using human regenerative techniques. Without authorization, without supervision." Novu's golden veins pulsed with anger. "The princess has an approved care protocol established by royal physicians. A protocol designed to manage her decline, not treat her condition," June challenged. Novu's eyes narrowed. "The royal family's wishes regarding Princess Taiya are not your concern. Your access to the private wing is revoked immediately." That evening, June found the wing's entrance locked with new security codes. Through the door, he could hear Taiya calling his name. "I'm here," he called back. "They've restricted my access." "They're changing my medication," she replied, her voice strained. "Dr. Novu says your treatments were dangerous." June pressed his hand against the door. "They're trying to reverse our progress. The regenerative therapy was working." "I know," came her quiet response. For the first time in years, I felt stronger. Unwilling to abandon his patient, Jun sought out Nurse Rila in the staff quarters. To his surprise, she had been expecting him. You took a great risk helping her, Rilla said, inviting him inside. But I've seen the improvement myself. They're reversing her treatment, June explained. Without continued therapy, she'll decline again. Rilla looked torn. The royal family has made their wishes clear. Princess Taya's condition brings shame to their bloodline. Her recovery would create complications, so they prefer she dies quietly. June couldn't keep the anger from his voice. It is not our place to question royal decisions, Rilla recited, though her tone suggested she didn't fully believe this. It's exactly our place as medical professionals, June insisted. The princess is being denied care for political reasons, not medical ones. After a long silence, Rilla opened a drawer and removed an access card. This is my emergency backup. Use it wisely. I cannot openly help you, but she pressed the card into his hand. Some Lurith believe all life deserves care, regardless of vein color. That night, using Rilla's card, June returned to Taya's quarters. She was pale, her silver veins already dulling from the changed medication. You came back, she whispered. Of course. June immediately began preparing the regenerator. I don't abandon my patients. Why risk your position here? Your career? Taya asked. I'm just one patient, and not even your species. June paused, considering his answer carefully. On Earth, I took an oath to treat all who need help, regardless of who they are. But it's more than that. Your condition is treatable. Letting you suffer when I can help would be wrong. As days passed, their defiance grew more organized. Rilla began adjusting official medication logs to hide the discrepancies. Another staff member, a Talarian technician named Ziv who had faced discrimination for his unusual patterning, helped maintain the equipment June needed. Director Mev called June for another meeting, this time with station security present. Your access logs show irregularities, Mev stated. You've been warned to stay away from the restricted wing. As a doctor, I'm obligated to provide care where it's needed, June replied calmly. Your obligation is to follow station protocols, Mev countered. The princess's care is determined by the royal family. Continue this behavior, and you'll be removed from the exchange program and sent back to Earth in disgrace. That evening, forbidden from entering the medical bay entirely, June faced a difficult decision. His career, which he had worked toward his entire adult life, hung in the balance. The rational choice was clear. Step back, complete his exchange program, and return to Earth with his credentials intact. Instead, he went to the station's communications center and requested an emergency channel to Earth's diplomatic medical corps. This is Dr. June Park on Station Orion 9. He began when the connection established. I need to report a case of medical neglect with diplomatic implications. As he detailed Taya's situation, June knew he was crossing a line from private defiance to public challenge. The station would soon know. The Lurith royal family would know. There would be no turning back. But in his mind, he saw Taya's silver veins glowing brighter during treatment, proof that her difference wasn't a death sentence. Some principles were worth fighting for, even across the stars. Send all your documentation, the Earth representative instructed. We'll review immediately. As June uploaded his treatment records and results, a message appeared on his personal device from Taya, sent through Ziv's secure channel. Whatever happens, you've already saved me. For the first time, someone saw me as worth fighting for. Those words confirmed what June already knew. Some defiance wasn't just justified, it was necessary. The royal delegation arrived with such ceremony that Station Orion 9 seemed to hold its breath. 3 gleaming Lurith vessels docked simultaneously, their hulls etched with the imperial crest. Station Director Mev had ordered special cleaning of all public areas and assigned extra security throughout the docking bays. Prince Dovin, heir to the Lurith throne, stepped from the main vessel surrounded by golden-veined advisors. His own veins pulsed with intense brightness, a deliberate display of genetic perfection that made other Lurith bow deeply as he passed. June watched the procession on a monitor from his quarters, where he had been confined since making his report to Earth. Station security had restricted his movements but hadn't yet sent him home, likely waiting for the royal family to decide his punishment. "The prince looks angry," observed Ziv, the Talarian technician who had become June's ally. He had smuggled in a communication device that let them stay in contact with Taya. "How are you feeling?" June asked her through the secure channel. "Better than I should," came her reply. "Nurse Rilla managed to continue some of your treatments despite the increased security. But my brother's arrival changes everything." The station's main conference room had been transformed for the emergency meeting. Representatives from 12 species sat around a curved table, with Prince Dovin and his advisors occupying the most prominent position. Director Mev had placed the Earth ambassador, a late arrival who had traveled at emergency speed after June's report, far from the center. June entered under guard, aware of the stares from all sides. He kept his back straight, and his expression calm despite his racing heart. Prince Dovin spoke first, his translator conveying perfect diplomatic language, while his body expressed pure Lurith disgust. "This human has interfered in a private matter of the royal family," he stated. "He has violated medical protocols, ignored direct orders, and created a diplomatic incident based on his limited understanding of our culture." The Earth ambassador, Dr. Hannah Lee, responded with equal formality. Dr. Park acted in accordance with interspecies medical ethics as established by the Galactic Medical Covenant, which the Lurith Empire signed 3 years ago. This covenant places patient welfare above political considerations. A Naxian representative raised a hand. "What exactly is the medical issue at stake?" Prince Dovin's advisor quickly answered. "Princess Taya suffers from a genetic abnormality that affects her quality of life. Royal physicians determined the condition untreatable. The human doctor presumed to know better than our medical experts." "That's not entirely accurate," Jum said, earning a warning look from his guards. "Princess Taya's silver veins are a natural variation, not a disease. The treatments prescribed by royal physicians attempted to convert her silver veins to gold, an impossible transformation that damaged her system further." Murmurs spread through the room. Several delegates exchanged glances. The treatment protocols were approved by the highest medical authority in the Lurith Empire, Prince Dovin stated firmly. "May we see the complete medical records?" asked a Talarian medical officer. "Royal medical records are private," snapped an advisor. Dr. Lee leaned forward. "If Princess Taya herself approved sharing her records, would that satisfy protocol?" The conference room doors slid open before Prince Dovin could answer. Princess Taya entered, supported by Nurse Rilla. Her silver veins glowed visibly through her formal attire. Though she moved slowly, her back was straight and her eyes clear. The room fell silent. Many delegates had never seen a silver-veined Lurith before. Prince Dovin's shock quickly transformed to controlled anger. "Sister," he said, "you should be resting." "I have rested for years," Taya replied, her voice stronger than June had ever heard it. "It's time I spoke for myself." She moved to the center of the room, addressing all delegates equally. "I am Princess Taya of the Lurith Empire. For my entire life, I have been hidden away because of how I look. The royal family sent me here to die quietly, where my silver veins wouldn't embarrass them." Prince Dovin stood abruptly. "This is a private family matter." "No," Taya cut him off. "When you use medical care as a political tool, it becomes a matter of ethics. Dr. Park treated me as a patient, not a problem. For the first time, someone saw my difference without seeing shame." She activated a small projector that displayed her medical charts, before and after June's treatment. "My condition was never terminal. It was simply inconvenient to a family obsessed with appearances. Dr. Park's regenerative therapy improved my cellular function by 63% in just weeks." The Talarian medical officer studied the data with interest. "These results are remarkable. Human regenerative techniques appear highly compatible with your specific physiology." Other medical representatives began discussing the data, their professional curiosity overriding the political tension. Prince Dovin's advisors huddled in urgent discussion. The royal family's position remains unchanged, Prince Dovin finally stated. Dr. Park interfered in matters beyond his authority. Princess Taya will return home immediately for appropriate care. I will not, Taya said simply. Her brother stared at her in disbelief. You have no choice. You are a royal princess. I am also an adult citizen with medical rights, she countered. According to Lurith law, I can refuse to return if I believe it threatens my health. A new voice joined the discussion. Dr. Novu, who had remained silent until now. The station's official position has been to respect the royal family's wishes, he said carefully. However, as chief medical officer, I cannot ignore the improvement in the princess's condition. Dr. Park's methods, while unorthodox, have proven effective. Prince Dovin's veins pulsed with fury. You risked the Lurith Empire's relationship with this entire station. Perhaps that relationship needs reconsideration, suggested the Naxian delegate. If medical ethics are secondary to appearance in Lurith culture, many species would find this concerning. The Earth ambassador added, human medical exchange programs can be redirected to more compatible partners if necessary. The implied threats hung in the air. Station Orion 9 represented significant economic and strategic value to the Lurith Empire. Several other delegates nodded in agreement with the Naxian and human positions. Prince Dovin recognized the shifting diplomatic ground. His advisors whispered urgently in his ear. The royal family has always prioritized Princess Taya's well-being, he said carefully, changing tactics. If current treatments are showing positive results, we naturally support their continuation. Nobody in the room believed this sudden reversal, but it offered a path forward that allowed the Lurith to save face. Taya moved closer to her brother. When she spoke, her voice was quiet but carried throughout the room. For years, you pretended I didn't exist, she said. Now you must acknowledge not just me, but others like me. Silver-veined Lurith exist throughout our empire, hidden away as I was. They deserve the same care I received. Prince Dovin studied his sister, truly seeing her, perhaps for the first time. The conference room waited in tense silence. Such matters require further discussion, he finally said. But the princess may continue her treatment here while we consult with our medical experts. It wasn't a victory, but it wasn't defeat either. As the meeting adjourned, Jun found himself standing next to Taya. Thank you, she said simply. I just provided treatment, Jun replied. You did the hard part, standing up to your family and an entire cultural system. Taya's silver veins pulsed with new strength. Sometimes defiance is just another word for survival. 6 months after the confrontation, Princess Taya stood before the newly established Interspecies Medical Council on Station Orion 9. The large chamber, once a storage area, had been transformed into a meeting space where doctors from 12 species now gathered regularly. Her silver veins glowed brightly as she addressed the assembled medical professionals. Welcome to our third official gathering, she began. Today we celebrate the successful treatment of 15 more silver-veined Lurith using the Park Protocol. The name had stuck despite Jun's protests that he didn't deserve sole credit. The combination of human regenerative techniques with modified Lurith medicine had proven remarkably effective for those with silver vein physiology. From his seat beside her, Jun watched with quiet pride. The past 6 months had brought changes none of them could have predicted. The first silver-veined Lurith had arrived at the station just weeks after Prince Dovin's departure. A young engineer whose family had hidden his condition through expensive cosmetic treatments, he had heard rumors about a princess with silver veins who was actually getting better. More followed, first in secret, then openly as word spread. Some traveled from the furthest reaches of the Lurith Empire, having lived in isolation or disguised their entire lives. The Lurith royal family, unable to deny Taya's improving health and unwilling to face further diplomatic pressure, had taken a surprising approach. Rather than continuing to hide the existence of silver-veined Lurith, they reframed the narrative entirely. An ancient text was discovered in the royal archives, suggesting that silver veins had once appeared in the royal bloodline during a time of great transformation. The official story now claimed that silver-veined Lurith represented not a flaw, but a rare and special variation that occurred during times of significant change. Few believed this convenient historical revision, but it allowed everyone to move forward without direct confrontation. The royal family saved face, while Taya and others like her received proper care. Our next speaker is Dr. Jun Park, who will share the latest refinements to the treatment protocol, Taya announced. Jun approached the podium, still sometimes surprised by how his life had changed. What had begun as a simple act of medical ethics had evolved into something much larger. The key innovation in our latest approach involves cellular memory programming, he explained to the council. By helping silver vein cells remember their optimal state, we've reduced treatment time by 30%. As he continued his presentation, Jun noticed a late arrival slipping into the chamber, Prince Dovin, making his first visit to the station since the confrontation. The prince's expression remained neutral as he observed the proceedings from the back. After the council meeting concluded, Taya approached her brother cautiously. Jun stayed nearby, ready to support her if needed. "You didn't announce your visit," Taya said. "I wanted to see this medical council without ceremonial preparations," Dovin replied. His tone lacked its former coldness. "Father sent me to evaluate the situation personally." "And what will you report back?" she asked. Dovin looked around the chamber, where doctors of various species continued discussions in small groups. Several silver-veined Lurith moved confidently among them. "I will report that the situation is evolving in unexpected ways," he said carefully. "The appearance of silver veins throughout our population cannot be ignored or hidden any longer." "It never should have been," Taya replied. For a moment, brother and sister studied each other. The genetic difference that had separated them from birth seemed smaller now, though still visible in their contrasting veins. "Mother asks about you," Dovin said finally. "She would like you to visit home." The invitation surprised both Taya and Jun. After years of rejection, the royal family was reaching out, not with full acceptance, perhaps, but with acknowledgement. "I have responsibilities here," Taya said, "but perhaps a short visit could be arranged." Later that evening, Taya and Jun walked through the station's small garden dome. What had begun as a professional relationship had evolved into deep friendship, transcending their different species and backgrounds. "Will you go home?" Jun asked. "Home is a complicated concept now," Taya replied, watching the artificial sunset paint the dome in golden light. The royal palace was never truly home. It was a prison. This station started as another prison, but became something else entirely. "A place of transformation," Jun suggested. Taya smiled at that. "Yes. For me, for others like me, and even for you." Jun couldn't disagree. His original one-year medical exchange had been extended indefinitely. The Earth Medical Diplomatic Corps had appointed him special envoy to the Interspecies Medical Council, recognizing the importance of the work being done here. "I received another message from that Neradian colony," Taya mentioned. "They have 3 children born with pattern variations similar to my condition. They've requested our help. The park protocol would need significant adaptation for Neradian physiology," Jun mused, already considering the medical challenges. "We could visit together," Taya suggested. "A diplomatic medical mission representing both our peoples." A year ago, such collaboration would have seemed impossible. A human doctor and a silver-veined Lurith princess working together to help others across the galaxy. Yet here they were, planning exactly that. As they continued their walk, they passed other station residents who greeted them with respect. The story of the abandoned princess and the human doctor who defied an empire had spread far beyond Station Orion 9, becoming something of a legend. Like most legends, it simplified the complex reality. The actual transformation hadn't happened in a single dramatic moment, but through hundreds of small defiances and choices. A doctor refusing to ignore a patient in need, a princess finding her voice, allies appearing when most needed. Near the garden's exit, they encountered a young silver-veined Lurith child who had arrived with her parents the previous week. Unlike Taya in her youth, this child moved confidently, her silver veins displayed openly. "Dr. Park," the child called out. "Look what I can do." She concentrated, and her silver veins glowed in a pulsing pattern, a skill that many silver-veined Lurith were discovering they possessed. "Very impressive," Jun said with genuine admiration. "Princess Taya is teaching me," the child explained proudly. "She says silver veins can do things golden veins cannot." Taya knelt beside the child. "And what's the most important thing I taught you?" The child straightened her shoulders. "That different isn't wrong. It's just different." As the child ran off to join her waiting parents, Taya and Jun exchanged a glance that contained volumes: satisfaction at how far they'd come, determination about the work still ahead. "I received an interesting message from Earth yesterday," Jun mentioned as they continued walking. "The Medical Academy is establishing a new department focused on interspecies medical ethics. They've asked me to help develop the curriculum." "Based on our experience?" Taya asked. "Based on what they're calling the Taya Principle, the idea that medical care must respect biological diversity rather than enforcing cultural standards of normality." Taya stopped walking, visibly moved. "They named it after me." "Your story changed things far beyond this station," Jun explained. "It made many species reconsider how they define normal and who deserves care." As Station Orion 9's night cycle began and the garden dome's lights dimmed, they stood together, a human doctor and a silver-veined princess, looking out at the stars visible through the transparent dome ceiling. "When I was sent here to die, I never imagined becoming a principal," Taya said softly. "And when I came here to advance my career, I never imagined defying an empire," Jun added. The greatest transformations, they had both learned, often begin with the simplest acts of compassion and the courage to see value in what others dismiss.